Today, I made a presentation during the 3rd regional convening of the Data for Governance Alliance, D4GA convening. And I would say that this is a step in the right direction, which I had earlier mentioned in the last convening that we attended in Nairobi, Kenya, where we actually spoke about transitional justice and for the first time added transitional justice on the agenda. And when we talk about transitional justice in Africa, we're talking about moving from conflict countries to post-conflict societies where we definitely need transitional justice. Advancing transitional justice in Africa is a moral imperative and a strategic investment in the well-being and resilience of African societies. But above all, I implore everyone to actually move towards reading the African Transitional Justice Policy to know what is in there so that we can popularize the African Union Transitional Justice Policy in Africa.
The research conducted by Afrobarometer and its partners has confirmed the lower awareness on climate change issues within 39 African countries, Ghana also part of these countries. The low awareness among citizenry is very key. The lack of coordination among national level institutions in driving climate change actions is one of the observations that was made. The disjointed and uncoordinated manner in which climate change policies and programs are planned in Ghana, and the lack of local involvement, local actors' participation in development of national policies is critical to the success of some of these policies and its implementation. Apart from this, we realize civil societies have a role to play in equipping communities and the district assembly level stakeholders in driving local actions to build resilience on climate change. So we support the data that is being delivered by Afrobarometer, and we call for government to do more in including other stakeholders in formulation of these policies and its implementations.
From Monday till date, I have learned a lot, especially issues of transitional justice. One of our units is access to justice. And transitional justice is an area that we have been looking out to branch into in working. Any document or any issue that I come across when it comes to transitional justice, the things that I've learned here will make it more easier for me to understand and also contribute our quota as an organization. The session on climate change also stood up well to me. My take home is that climate change is a governance issue. It is something that all hands has to be on deck to push this agenda forward. It shouldn't be a touch and go initiative. It should be a collaborative effort and a continuous one where we are bringing all stakeholders on board to be able to ensure that actions are taken for the needed results to be getting.
Today we looked at some of the data points on climate change in Africa. We looked at climate change awareness levels. We looked at some of the key actors who are supposed to limit climate change, how the government is handling climate change. What I can say is that data lays a solid foundation for informed decision making and policy making for that matter. CSOs can use this data to broaden their understanding of climate change so that they can devise effective and efficient strategies going forward.
I think the training today has been very useful, especially the advocacy exercises using case studies. One of the lessons from that is that it has helped us to actually know the processes in terms of developing advocacy strategies to deal with some of the issues that we've discussed today on climate change, on issues around human rights, and especially how to be able to develop very catchy advocacy messages using the available data to actually drum home your message to the very key stakeholders of our interventions.